Hi, let's get to the topic. What we're gonna learn today is these four topics. What really happens when you fire 1,000+ queries and that too concurrently? Actually, I posted a question. There are more than like 13k views and like many comments will reveal that what happens. But basically, it is a quite interesting thing. What happens when you fire more than 1,000 queries? Basically, whether it is queues or like all queries will fire at a time or everything we'll see. And the second topic is like we can try to run all the queries with this method which I explained in previous my videos. And also there is another one thing called ASYNC, the Snowflake released. With this also we can run queries parallelly. And the last but interesting release which Snowflake did on 5th of May is this. Okay, like they have released a generation 2 warehouse. So which they say that like it's very much powerful than the generation 1 and all. We'll try to compare and try to see how things will work. So basically before we jump into the demo and experiment, I'd like to tell you some of the things, like for example create random table. So this procedure, what it does, basically it creates a random table with table name as random underscore table underscore with some number. Okay, just an example here, and it will be having almost 100,000 records, and it will have different columns also. Like in this case 800 columns will be there with different data types. So basically if I call this procedure, so just notice like I'm using generation 1 warehouse which I have already created, and it will be creating one table called it will give the table name as well. Okay, so this is what create random table does. So see, it creates a table called random table, this number, these many records. And this, as I explained, if I run this procedure, this will execute the queries both in parallel, and it will create the random table itself. So basically the same thing happens, and you'll notice what's happening within, I think hopefully within some 20 seconds it's even completes also. But if you go to query history, you'll see the same query will be running. Okay, you see this create random table, both will be started on the same time. Okay, just notice this 21841 and the same thing. Okay, so if you notice almost same time it takes, okay, more or less, and at the end the result will come in a table format. That's it. But the mostly queries fire parallelly only. Okay, so this is a generation 1 warehouse. I have not changed any other parameter. Same thing I have created where generation 2 I have mentioned. Okay, so we'll do the first experiment with generation 1, where like what I have did is almost 1010 queries I have created, and means this many queries will fire at a time. Ideally, like it will queue and all, you will see, but we usually think that only 8 queries can run parallelly, on a normal warehouse, but it is not like that. It depends upon how much capacity that is having. Okay, so threads can keep on increasing, you will get to know. Okay, what I'll do now, I'll uh, run this, which will execute all queries at a time, and this is on generation 1. Okay, we'll see total how much time it will take. So more or less, if you just now you noticed it was taking 20 seconds, right? But what will happen when we fire 1000 plus queries? So that's what we need to look into. Some queries will be running, you see, like if I only select running queries, right, it will be more than, even you see, more than more than 8. Like we think that 8 parallel queries and all, but like mostly what to say, more queries will be running. Okay, again it depends upon how much capacity it is having. Like even if that crosses, right, even we may get some error and all, but it depends upon what is the capacity. So we'll see, okay, how much time this will take to run all the queries. Okay, I'll just note down this uh, query ID. Basically here we'll just note down, you can even, let's not run anything here, but basically this is my first query, or where I'm doing the experiment of, so I'm doing this experiment, okay, but I'm using this method now. So let's see how much time it will take. Let's come back to the queries. Okay, so we'll go to even next also. I'll explain a bit here. Again, this async method, right? Snowflake has released this async. This, what exactly happens here? It creates all the jobs. It depends upon what we add at the end, or say like await all or await result. Basically, we can all the jobs will be created and it will get fired when we add await all. Okay, so that means all will be fired again. But here if you notice, right, this case we'll be not having anything queued. That's the interesting part. Okay, the method which I told, which is this is one custom query or a procedure which I have created. Here there will be nothing called queued or blocked. Okay, well, looks like everything is done, but still running. Okay, so almost like 1000 queries plus will be keep on running. Mostly everything will be taking 20 seconds or something. That's what I'm expecting. So 1010 divided by almost 20 second. Just okay, sorry. So this should be 1010 into these many seconds it will take. So this will become how much? This will become minute. Oh, this is too much. Let's wait and see what's happening. And also we can observe how many queries are running. In the meanwhile, what we'll do, I'll copy same thing. Okay, I'll just duplicate this guy. Okay, I'll duplicate this guy, and we try to run on generation 2. Okay, see, basically this is copy. I'll just mention here Gen2, and so here also I'll just, okay, I'll change it. So if I run this also, basically this will be running on different warehouse. So, but at the end we can just see how many how much time it took. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, this is not correct. Okay, because 1010, maybe we just consider 6 queries running parallelly, right? So this into 20, so like this into 20 second is correct, I think. So it depends. So let's see where is my query. Okay, Gen2 also it started. We'll come to here. Okay, 6 minutes. Anyway, my to say the procedure what I have created, and also the like if you notice, the maximum concurrency level is 8. So actually this is default setting for any of the warehouses, and this is extra small warehouse. I'm doing a comparison. Okay, so let's see what will happen. Let it run. How much time it will take? Let it be taking, and not set any timeout, so it should be fine. Let's see what's happening here. So they say that generation 2 is fast. Let's compare later. Okay, so this one is execute queries, queries with Gen1, and this is with Gen2 warehouse. I'll not disturb, let it run. We'll wait for some time, and we'll just observe the timing, which one took how much and all. So like for example, right, just considering maximum 8 queries running, right? So 1010 divided by 8, so actually 126 queries, and just consider this. I think this should be the correct timing, I'm guessing. Let's see what will happen. So we just observe that it was taking, so this many seconds means in minutes it will become 42 minutes. My god. Okay, so this will take 42 minutes. Let's see. So we'll go to query history and let's do one thing. See, this will be having session ID, right? Any queries will have session ID. We'll take the session ID and we'll try to see what is happening. So this will be the session ID, right? Also we can go to even what to say warehouse also, and we can observe, if I go to warehouse, how many queries are running, how many things are there, right? That also we can observe from the warehouse also. Let's do that also until it run. Okay, see, like if I come here, you see, right, almost 17 queries are running and zero queries are queued, right? So you see, it will tell how many queries are running and all. Even if it is queued also, it will be coming here. So this one for Gen2. So almost same queries running then, Gen1 and Gen2. Yeah, it depends. Let's see with other method. So maybe we observe what is the timing. See, for example, this is my session ID for Gen2. Okay. This I'll copy and just filter here with session ID. Okay. See, almost 17 queries are running, and if I consider, so this one is Gen2, right? Yeah. So if I put all and my session ID is there, if I come to any of the queries which are success, create table, how much time it took, more or less, it took 23 seconds. Okay, this one is Gen2, right? Create table, mostly 21, 23. Will take something else also. I'll just take this also consideration and let's see. Okay, this is Gen2, and here if I add a filter, you will get to know how many seconds. It's not consistent. but more or less. Okay, something's complete. Okay, these are running, right? Success one, if we compare, so 19, 20, 32, like that, it's there. Okay, same thing we'll try to compare with. Okay, session ID also we need to add, right? So session ID is this. Okay, I'll filter session ID is there. No, okay, we'll add the session ID. This may have both the things, right? Now I have added this. If I compare now, this is Gen 2. Alright. Anyway, you will get to know within some time. Okay, 42 minutes. So this is the query which is running, and if you notice this, it will be like 1, 2, how many are there? Just if I consider the number of running queries, I add only running that to session. If you notice, eight queries are there, right? Means like 8 threads basically. Parallelly 8 queries are running, but the threads are 8. But the thing is that number of queries, if you consider, it would be more. That's what we saw in the this warehouse section, right? You see that number of queries are 17, but the thread at a time maybe like 8 queries are taken. So with this method, right, what happens, like we'll be not having any queuing. Okay, queuing will be not there, but we'll see uh, with other method which I mentioned with ASYNC, right? So for now I'll just pause and post that finish. We'll see. So hi, let's continue. You see, what I did is some comparison between the standard warehouse and Gen2 warehouse. So see, there is almost like 35% of credit per hour is increased for AWS, and on Azure it is more or less like 25%. So that's what the credit has been increased. And the another interesting thing I noticed is, if you see, right, like what I observed, if I consider the successful queries and with that filter for Gen 1, it is taking like almost 30 seconds and all, but when I compare to Gen 2, that looks promising, which is taking less time. That means for sure it's a time reduction is there. Okay, so if you notice, mostly queries are within 30 seconds, but when I come here, the queries are even more than 30 seconds, mostly are more than 30 seconds. Hopefully they have not reduced the power of this Gen 1 and they have not created another Gen 2. Hopefully not that the case, but The Gen2 is much more better in terms of execution. So this is my first experiment, and just my views are uh, my views, like nothing related to my company and all. It's just experimentation what I'm trying to do. It's recent release and recently GA. Just 2-3 days back, we'll come to some conclusion after some days. So still query is running. It will take around, I think, as I said, 40 plus minutes. So this is a new documentation they have released, which says how much is the cost increase. Mostly if you notice, it's almost like 35% for, like for AWS side, for Azure more or less 25%. But looks like for AWS it's a flat 35%. So for Azure it's 25%. Okay, let's go and pause. Once this is finished, I will start the video again. But I think another 6 more minutes will get back to this method. Okay. Then at the end, I'll do some comparison between Gen1 and Gen2, and I'll try to give my comparison. So just observe, guys. Here, wherever you see the bigger number of session ID, it's a Gen2 warehouse, and it is taking lesser time than the Gen1. So almost like when it takes 35 seconds and all, this one is taking 23 seconds. So like more or less 23, 24 like that. But the Gen1 is taking 30 seconds. So let's come back here and we'll see like this is just a final conclusion. Like even like we have 110 queries and each one is running like around 8 queries running in a parallel, so it will become around more than 1 hour. So when I see this right, you see like the number of call create random table should be like almost more than this many, right? Uh, like we have almost like we have twice I have run the same queries, correct? So it will be like 20 queries should be there here. Okay, that means like within some more seconds both the things will complete, hopefully, right? So this one also should complete, and hopefully this also should be completed. Okay, this is nice. So Gen2 completed. So Gen2 completed within 49 minutes and 13 seconds. So let's take this. So this is 49 minutes 13 seconds, because I have taken almost like 23 seconds and all. So this is the actual one. On an average, if I take, so this is the actual 49 minutes it took. And when it comes to the Gen1, hopefully that also will complete in some seconds. Okay. and we can just note down the timing also for this. So here what I have taken 30 seconds I have taken, but more or less it is taking on 34 or something also. So 33, 34 like that. So hopefully it will be completed soon. Yeah. So it took 1 hour 8 minutes. Okay. So if you see, like we'll here also we have almost the same number of rows should be there. But if you notice the timing, right? See on an average, it is like, oh my god, 48 second. And when it comes to the Gen 2, we'll see. So on an average, how much it is? 34 second. So that's how it is. So for this is Gen 2. Okay. So the next experiment what I wanted to do is, if you notice here I have created a what to say proc, which will what to say run, and async method. With async method we'll see. Okay. And if you see this, right, you will get to like there will be queuing happens for the queries. Okay, I started here and this is Gen 1. So same way I'll start for Gen 2 as well. Okay, and it will be on different warehouse. Okay, so we'll run, and here also we have like 1010 queries. Okay, I'll just take this query and I'll run this. So this is running on a Gen 2. So we'll see what happened. Okay, so let's come back to here where the query execution is going on here. So but if you notice, like I'll just select all the things, but this time it will be like queuing will happen. We'll get to know soon, because what happens with async method, right? With async method all the things will be the job IDs will be created and all the queries should start, means at least all the jobs should start, and then queuing will happen. Okay, so this is Gen 1. Just see anything is queued. Yeah, you see all the queries are queued, and if I notice running, how many are running, and you see like now this time we have more number of queries running also, if you notice. So other things means like, see this method, with this method, right, whatever possible maximum capacity of that warehouse we can utilize, and it will run. So this method also better. Okay, So this is Gen1. We'll come to Gen2. We'll see how many are queued or how many are running. You see, and if I see, so here we will go here and now try to see all, and see now we have so many things are queued also. Okay, so what I'm expecting this time, even both the procs which I'm running here, right, it will be completed soon. Okay, so with this is for Gen1, right, and with this is with a sync method. Okay, async, with async, and oh, this is completed. Okay, this one is still running, and this is for Gen1, and for Gen2 I'm executing. So sometimes we think extra small warehouse is very small, and we simply what to say, like increase the warehouse size and all. But if we use async or parallel execution and all, we can save a lot of time, and also in Snowflake the time is money, right? Sync with, so let's wait some more time and we'll come back again. This time I'm expecting much more faster. Okay, so all the queries should be completed. Just if I take successful only here, like this time double of this, like 444040 should be like my queries, right? Successful, then only it will be completed, right? So okay, let's wait and see what happens. So looks like, but queuing is happening here, so more queuing will lead, hopefully it will not lead to any error. So if I see running queries, more queries are running, but interestingly, these are taking more time. See, these are taking more time. That's bad. So we'll do one thing. We'll take one session ID for this and try to see what is happening. Okay, even this query is stuck, if you notice. Okay, this is not started only. That's the reason. Okay. We'll take one which is running. So also if we see queued queries are these many. Okay. 86 queries and 64 queries are running. But if you remember the previous method with this method, right, where we were not having any queuing. Okay, looks like I need to reconnect to the internet. Is that the issue? Let's see. Hopefully it will be not aborted. If I come here and we'll just take the session ID. This is with GEN1, and if I come here to query history, and we can add session ID as a parameter and try to see what is really happening. See, this time it is taking more time. Although looks like it is running, that's bad. See, it looks like it is overloaded, right? The queries are overloaded. Means all queries are running and more queries are what is queued. Okay, let's remove this guy. Okay, only we'll keep the queries. So this is for GEN1, right? So this is bad. So we cannot have like this. So for sure we need to think of some. So this is better way, I feel. there will be no queuing at least, and number of queries, right, are depend upon the whatever we put a parallel, right, what to say, that concurrent queries, right. I think this is gonna not complete. Let's conclude this will be not good. But I think one good thing is that what we can do is, if we add a what to say, here also if we add maybe like await result 1 or something like that, if keep on adding it, that will be better and we can get the result fast. But I doubt this will complete because many queries are queued, so not good. I think conclusion for this even first query, right, if we pass queries parallelly, looks like all queries will run, and there won't be even resources available, so everything will be keep on running. That's bad. So that's where the increase of warehouse will come, right. When the warehouse or cluster size is increased, that time, the possibility of all queries running will be there. Okay, that's it. It's a good learning. Thank you very much.